Hello hello everyone and welcome. So today I have a super exciting flip through, at least exciting for me. And I was gonna post this or film it, post it tomorrow, but I'm just so excited to share it with you, so I'm gonna do it today. This is 50 States to Color, a United States of America coloring book, illustrated by Camille Bell. That name sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's me. So, I am aware of this awful tangent almost happening right there, and I did fix it, but I fixed it after I ordered this copy for myself, so it should be more centered now. And it's on, I did it on Amazon, so of course it's the classic paper. It is available on Etsy as well. I will link both places you can get it in the description box so you can get your hands on it if you end up loving it. So this is just the interior title page, copyright page, and then right here we have the table of contents because there's a lot of states, and I list everything, like the insignias that each state has that I included in the illustrations. So like, for example, Hawaii's state flower is the Pu'alaualo hibiscus flower, and their sport is surfing, and so those things are integrated into the illustrations. And this is the first page. They are in alphabetical order. The first state is Alabama, which is the heart of Dixie. There's a star for the capital, and there's a star on each state for where the capital city is located. And it's not like perfectly where it is supposed to be, but I try to get it as accurately positioned as possible. The pages are single-sided on white paper, and this is, so one reason this is super exciting is because I had this idea. This is Alaska. Their animal's trout. So I had this idea like 2-ish years ago, or even sooner than that, to do all of the different US states with coloring page illustrations. And it took a really long time, like tons of research, and I really tried to make an effort to make each picture unique. There's only 2 things that have the same plant or insignia, and that is, we'll get to those, but I did different, I still made them different enough that it'll be a different experience coloring it. This is Arizona. Their flower is the classic cactus. I just forgot the name of it. What is it called? The saguaro cactus. And you can't think of Arizona without thinking of lizards. So that's why that motif is in there. And then for Arkansas, their mineral is quartz. This is really fun to do. Yeah. This is California with the California poppies. And so it was just a really fun project to do because there's all these different plants. This is the columbine flower, I think, and then the Rocky Mountains for Colorado. Is it the columbine flower? Don't quote me on that. Rocky Mountain, yeah, it's the columbine. But it was a really fun project because there's all these different shapes, and so I had to like think of how to fit what I wanted to put in there and use that space well. And I love this one. This is a sperm whale, which is Connecticut. animal. Here's Delaware, ladybugs and strawberries. And some of these are really cute. Others are more designed. So some are more motif based, like this is very motif. Others have a subject like the whale. Here's Georgia peaches. Look at those juicy, juicy peaches. Here's Hawaii. Hawaii was one of the more challenging ones to figure out how to do because there's the the islands. There's like I'm blanking on a number, but I didn't want to do like an illustration and all these tiny ones and then have all of this empty space. So I decided to go with a surfboard design, and I'm glad I did that. And then there's a hibiscus flower, and you can see there's the capital right there. It's so tiny, but it is there. But yeah, so this one was a really fun challenge, and I actually originally had a totally different design, and then had this aha moment at like 4 in the morning or something when I was drifting in and out of sleep. This is Idaho, which is the gem state. Oh, and I love this font because you can either leave it blank or you can color it in however you want. There's Idaho. Here's Illinois with the painted turtles. This one was super fun to do because I love turtles. And then here's Indiana, where their state flower is the peony. And this, I've never drawn a peony before, and so I was so nervous, and I just stared at my photo references and stared and stared and stared. And then finally figured out how I wanted to draw it, and I think it turned out awesome. And I decided, because this was such a complicated flower, to leave the background blank. So some have very filled in backgrounds, others are a little bit more sparse with the background. So this is Iowa, and their plant is like the hairy acorn, or something like that. Then Kansas, the sunflower, is their flower. Kentucky, their food/fruit is blackberries. And this was super fun to do. Okay, here we have Louisiana. Now this is the one where it repeats the insignia. So we have the magnolia, which is their state flower, and then their bug is the honeybee. So there's this cute little bee right there. And then in a couple states, we'll see the other magnolia. So this is Maine. Their thing is clams. And I decided to go with like a more illustrative clam than a like smooth clam shell with a little pearl. Okay, this is Maryland, where they this is the blue crab or something like that. And this is really fun to figure out how to do, because there's all this skinny little pieces of land. Oh, this is Massachusetts. I love this one. Their state animal is a type of snake, and I loved just like doing all the squiggly, the snake. Here's Michigan. I think cherry blossoms, either cherry or apple blossoms. It's written down in the front. And here we have Minnesota, apples. And I wasn't sure what to do for the background, and then I realized how to do wood. So that's going to be super fun to color. I'm excited to color this. Okay, so this is the other one that repeats. Mississippi is known as the Magnolia State. So this one I drew more magnolias, and they're not as bloomed yet. So that's Mississippi. And then Missouri, their state food is ice cream. And I thought it'd be fun, just really cute and fun to have ice cream in here. Because I wanted each page to not only represent the state, but also be unique in its own way. Here we have Montana with, it's like a root flower, I can't remember the name. Here's Nebraska, the Cornhusker state. So we have this like gingham plaid background and corn. New Hampshire state fruit is a pumpkin. I learned so much doing this project and learned how to draw so many different things. There's New Jersey with blueberries. And I also learned a lot about different kinds of plants. So now when I look in some coloring books that have more plants, I actually recognize what kind of plant it is. So this is New Mexico with yucca, and then like this kind of like Mexican or Indian blanket pattern. This one's really fun to do. Here we have New York, where their state flower is the rose. And I don't know if I've ever drawn a rose before, so this was also a milestone. Here we have North Carolina, a type of fish is their animal, and I thought it'd be fun to like have fish scales. Here we have North Dakota. I think these are wild prairie roses. Here's Ohio with the chestnuts. And this is a chestnut leaf, and this is the like burr thing that you find it in. Okay, I had so much fun with this. This is Oklahoma, which is known as like one of their nicknames is Native America. Yeah, their nickname is Native America. And there are some other nicknames that are less, I don't know. You know what I mean. So yeah, I have a dream catcher because there's a lot of Cherokee tribes in Oklahoma. I think it's Cherokee. And then like an Indian blanket pattern. So that's really fun. Oh, here we have Oregon. They're the shells. Just forgot the name. The trident. And then Pennsylvania, another goody one. Their state food is chocolate chip cookies. So yes. So I did cookies and milk. And then Rhode Island. This one was really fun to do. So on their seal or their flag or something, they have the anchor, but it's because their nickname is the Ocean State, and they do a lot of boating there and stuff. So that's why I did the anchor, and then kind of a spin on a nautical background with the stripes and stuff. Here we have South Carolina, which is the Palmetto State, with the palm tree, and then on their flag, and their license plates, they have a palm tree with the moon. So I decided to do like this nighttime scene for that. Here's South Dakota. Their state plant is, or their state tree is Black Hill spruce. So I thought this was kind of a fun, different background design. So you can make this Christmassy or green, you know, spring, summery. Tennessee has the coneflower. Texas, their animal is a longhorn, so there's longhorn silhouette, and then their state sport is rodeo. So you gotta have the rope. And it's kind of like this Western quilt design. Here we have Utah, which is the Beehive State. And this one was one of the first ones I did just because that's where I'm from. And I was trying to decide between doing like realistic bees or more cutesy illustrated bees, so this is what I decided upon. But yeah, Utah's the Beehive State. Then Vermont, it's like this background is supposed to be like marble because that's their stone, and it's a red clover flower, granite and red clover. In Virginia, we have a swallowtail butterfly and then flowers because butterflies like flowers. Here we have Washington. Their animal is actually the orca / killer whale, so that was kind of cool to learn. And then I have this like really fun kind of watery design for the background. Okay, this is West Virginia, and the flower is rhododendron. It's like a super, yeah, rhododendron. There we go, rhododendron. And a couple different states have this flower for their state flower, so I went with this one for West Virginia. And because it's so complicated with all these little flowers and their balls, I left the background pretty simple. And then Wisconsin is cheese because their nickname, or their unofficial nickname, is America's Dairyland. No, that's their motto, is America's Dairyland. And they're very known for their cheese. So I did wheels and slices of cheese. So I never thought that I would like do a page with cheese, but there you go. Okay, here's Wyoming. These are Indian paintbrush, and then these are supposed to be the Teton Mountains because the Tetons and Yellowstone is in Wyoming, and that's something that is really famous for. And then here is the illustration that's on the cover to color in with Lady Liberty, because I felt like she was the most iconic symbol of America, and that's like what this whole coloring book is about, is celebrating each state and the US and showing the icons of everything. This is Washington, D.C. right there. And it's giving me flag vibes for sure. Okay, almost finished. Okay, here's a color test page. This cute little owl because he's exploring, and yeah, or she. And then there's just some blank pages, but it's a really nice thick coloring book. And here's the back cover featuring some of the illustrations inside. This is my business Instagram at PrintyPleasy. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and are excited or close to excited as I am, let me know. Let me know where you're from, if or like give a shout out to what state is yours, or what state was your favorite illustration. And thanks for watching and listening to my excited rambling, and I hope to see you next time. Happy coloring!